La da 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 oh oh oh. La da 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 oh oh oh. La da da da. Making our Christmas memories.
Hello, fellow cozy drinkers. Today I am bringing to you 3 Christmas-inspired cozy drinks for all of you tea, coffee, and cocoa lovers. I'm really excited to bring these recipes to you guys, and I hope it inspires you to make amazing holiday cozy drinks for you and your family this holiday season. As always, I will go ahead and post the ingredients down below for you, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started into the video. This first recipe is inspired by the ever-loved Starbucks Medicine Ball Hot Tea. So you will want to go ahead and start off by brewing some water and using your favorite citrus mint tea. I specifically boiled the water and the lemonade together so that it can be nice and hot. It calls for Simply Light lemonade, but all I had was the sparkling ice, no sugar classic lemonade, and honestly, it tasted just as amazing. While the tea steeps, you can go ahead and grab your honey, and we will be putting in 2 teaspoons of honey. You can use any honey of your choice. I absolutely love the honey bear. It's not only cute, but it tastes delicious in basically every recipe I have. Moving on to the extracts. You know I love my extracts. This specific recipe calls for peppermint extract, 1/8 teaspoon of peppermint extract. But I didn't measure it as you saw. I simply just put a dash of it because it is super strong and does the trick. Quite honestly, there's no wrong way. You can use as much or as little as you like. I just don't like an overwhelming amount of mint. Once that's done, you go ahead and just stir all the flavors together and you have yourself a warm, delicious, lemony citrus mint tea, perfect for the flu season this year and every year. This next drink is the Keto Cinnamon Coffee. Fun fact, if you mix flavoring with your coffee as you're brewing it, it ends up tasting just like your flavoring. So you'll want to go ahead and you'll start off with brewing your ground coffee and cinnamon together and just brew as you usually would. If you prefer using espresso, you can absolutely use that as well, and it would taste just as good in my opinion. I went ahead and added a dash of cinnamon after it was brewed as well, just for the added cinnamon taste. Cinnamon is so good for your health, and I love the flavor. The next step is making a froth to go on top of your brewed coffee. The recipe calls for heavy cream, however, I just don't like using heavy cream in any of my recipes, so I went ahead and used almond milk and oat milk and just made a nice froth, and honestly, it actually turned out just as great. Once that was frothed, I went ahead and added my extracts. I used vanilla extract for added flavoring and just added it to the froth mixture so that I can go ahead and continue to froth it. After everything is blended together, you can go ahead and top your coffee with the mixture, and it makes for a nice, frothy, foamy, cinnamony, delicious cup of coffee. I went ahead and completed the look with a nice mini candy cane, and it just makes the drink look absolutely cozy and festive. This next recipe is quite honestly my favorite, mainly because I love Kahlua. But if you want to go the extra mile like I did, you can go ahead and melt some chocolate and add a few peppermint to the mixture once it's melted, so that you can go ahead and create a nice rim for your mug of choice. This step, of course, is optional, but I just think it takes the drink to a whole nother level. While that sits in the freezer, we can move on to the next steps. Next, you will want to use your milk of choice. I, of course, use almond milk once again. It calls for 2 cups of milk, so that is how much I measured out into the pot. Once that's done, you will add your sugar. I like to use the Swerve sugar replacement. I did try this drink after it was done, and to be quite honest with you, I feel like 2 tablespoons of sugar was too much. It was just far too sweet. So if I was to do this recipe again, I would probably only add 1 tablespoon. But again, it's completely up to you and how much sugar you like in your drink. I then added 1.5 tablespoons of chocolate chips. The recipe calls for Dutch processed unsweetened cocoa powder, and quite honestly, I was looking for my cacao powder, but apparently I had run out, so I just used the chocolate chips and it did the trick. I then added cinnamon to the mixture. Once again, I did not measure it, I just eyeballed it. I seem to do that with every recipe, but it comes out delicious, so I'm not complaining. However, the recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, so follow the directions, don't be like me. And then, of course, a splash of nutmeg. On to my favorite part, Kahlua time! You will be measuring out 1 ounce of the Kahlua coffee liquor. Ooh, which also reminds me, if you were to add a dash of the Kahlua into the coffee recipe I just showed you, oh my gosh, I think that would be absolutely amazing. Anyway, add the Kahlua into the mixture and then set it on the stove to boil. Once it's all melted, steamed up, and ready to go, grab your cup out of the freezer and pour the cocoa into the cup. This again is optional, but I added a splash of caramel flavoring from Chalk Zero, which is 0 sugar, so it didn't add to the sweetness. Then you go ahead and add your marshmallows of choice, and it completes this wonderful cocoa drink. You really can't go wrong when it comes to hot cocoa, but this recipe might be my absolute favorite. And there you have it, guys, 3 amazing holiday drink recipes. Let me know if you try any of them. As always, I do hope you guys are having a great holiday season. Stay blessed and glorious, you guys. Till my next video. Bye.
Making our Christmas memories.